BeastNetPodcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
We don't bite hard.
Hey everybody, it's Mike with BeastNet, and on this episode I got with me Bryan Gray. Bryan, kind of let everyone know who you are.
My name is Bryan Gray. I have been running Spartan Races since 2019. I started racing for a friend's birthday, and we decided to run a sprint and a super together. And before our first race, we decided that since we already were going to be getting the sprint and the super on the same weekend, we might as well go for the trifecta. And so we signed up for the Tahoe Beast in the same weekend, or not in the same weekend, in the same week that we decided to do our first two races. And so in June of 2019, we ran the Monterey Sprint and Super. And in September, I ran my first Beast. And ever since then, I had been hooked and got really involved with Spartan, and then became an Unbreakable pass holder 2 years ago. And with that, I started looking for ways to help out. And that's how I wound up meeting Mark, and we started the Teddy Bearcrawl.
I've heard about it, and I've heard of this in a couple places. They've done it in a few places now so far, right?
Yes. In Atlanta, we did our trial run for a wide event that people could participate in. And in Cincinnati, we just did our second run, and that was our first really planned out scheduled event. In Atlanta, we didn't want to promise things and then not be able to deliver. So Atlanta was our trial run where it was kind of figured out, this is what we want to do, but it wasn't it was the only event on the schedule at the time. And after Atlanta, we branched out to what events can we get this to throughout the country.
And so that's pretty cool. I mean, I like when someone does that. It's more, let's do a first trial run, see how it works, and then work out the kinks, and then we'll push it out to everybody. I mean, so that's pretty cool. And then so you've got those two out so far, and I know there's a schedule out where there's how many scheduled now?
We have, I believe it's 7 more events throughout the country. And so we have, Mark will be doing an event in Florida. He will be doing an event at a Tough Mudder in Minnesota, the Twin Cities Tough Mudder. He will be leading the Dallas trifecta weekend, and I will be leading an Arizona, Seattle, and Utah event, and Steve will be leading the event in New York in August at Tri-City or Tri-State New York. Nice.
Now I believe I'm doing the Dallas race, so I think I'm going to definitely try and get the bear crawl in then. Seattle's technically was my home race, but I moved to Houston last year, so yeah, I was hoping to get back for Seattle because that's kind of like where everyone I know is, but I don't think I'm going to make it. But I definitely the Dallas one. So explain to everyone kind of what we've been talking about, what it is or where it is and how many you've got going, but what exactly is it?
So last year in February, Mark decided to raise money to get teddy bears for his local children's hospital. So in February, Mark went to Arizona and bear crawled the sprint course. Mm-hmm. And he raised some money for his local children's hospital to get teddy bears for them. And then he decided to go for a teddy bear crawl during the super in Dallas. So in Dallas, my friends and I were walking the sprint after having run the ultra the day before, wearing Pokemon onesies. And one of my friends had a Pokeball on. And as we were about 1.5 miles in to our race, we saw somebody bear crawling. And at the time, I just thought it was strange. But as we were passing, we said, "Excuse us," and told him that if he was to be careful because it was hot out there. And so if he started seeing weird things like people walking around in Pokemon costumes, he needs to take a break because he might be dehydrated. And so he was laughing at us because, of course, we're dressed in Pokemon onesies, and he sees us, and he was dehydrated at the time. He'd been bear crawling for about 4.5 miles at this point.
Yeah.
And so Mark asked us if he could get a picture with us, and of course we said yes. And so I put the after the race, he put the picture on the Facebook group for Spartan Dallas. And so I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I saw this event that you did yourself. That's a 10K bear crawl. Would you be interested in doing something that brings this so that more people can participate and we can raise money for a larger area, hopefully?" And of course, Mark said, "Absolutely, whatever we can do to make kids that are going through one of the worst times of their life and their families, give them something more. This is something we'd love to push throughout more than just my local area."
Yeah.
So I asked Mark if it was okay for me to reach out beyond just him, because I didn't want to step on toes, of course.
Right.
And I reached out to Dan McDonald, and Dan immediately jumped on this. And so after Mark did his 10K bear crawl, we decided 10K was a little bit too much to get the average person involved. And since this is something for kids, I thought, what would be really cool is if we took the smallest kids course, which is the half-mile course, and we allowed the adults to use the kids course to earn a kids medal. And in doing this, we could raise money for getting teddy bears to the children's hospital. So the idea started partially out of my own greed, because I cannot get a orange medal to go with all of my other colored medals. So naturally, I want the whole rainbow of colors. And so I reached out to Dan and said, "Hey, is there any way we could get kids medals?" Not really expecting it, but Dan jumped on it. And so the what we wound up working out is any adult who races the kids or the bear crawls, the kids course with us, will earn they will start with a kids headband, and they will earn a kids medal. Now it's a 2023 kids medal because we can't take anything away from this year's kids.
Oh, yeah.
But they earn a kids medal. Any child that participates with their parents will earn a 2023 sprint medal. So children don't get another kids medal from a previous year. They get an adult's medal because they're doing something far beyond what we would expect a child to do normally in a race. And that, honestly, that's beyond a typical sprint. If anybody here doesn't know about bear crawls, I'm sure most of your audience knows how hard a bear crawl is. Bear crawling for a half a mile is a very rough experience. And so if any kid is willing to do it, that is beyond what the kid's medal is worth for a child.
Yeah. But I agree with you as an adult. I'm interested because that's the one. I've got the red, I've got the blue, I've got the green, I've got the purple, but I've never gotten the orange.
Yes. And you can go to a stadium and get your yellow, but as an adult, you cannot get that children's medal until now.
Yeah. And that's how you entice me. I'm like, that's a medal I can't get my hands on. And I need to do a stadium, and then I haven't done that, but yeah.
Yes. Maybe we can do a stadium bear crawl.
Those stairs sound horrible.
Well, actually, in Arizona, the race in November in Arizona is held at a race course, and the kids course uses part of the grandstands there. And so when we do the race in Arizona, we are going to be bear crawling up some of the stairs, more than likely, for part of that kids course. So that part, I'm actually kind of excited to see how it works out.
That's going to be interesting. I think going down would be the harder part.
Going down, you go backward.
Yeah. I would have to. I would go face first.
Yes.
If I tried going, forward, I'd go face first into the ground, and it would not end well. But, I mean, it's a very interesting idea. And I mean, that's one thing I have always loved about this sport and about Spartan and about all of these is it breeds these other ideas in these crazy things where, in any other industry or any other sport, where people look at you and be like, "Are you out your mind?"
Yes.
But in this sport, in this industry, everyone's like, where do I sign up?
Yes. Well, first you are out of your mind.
Yeah.
Where can I sign up? Because they're out of their mind too. They just accept it.
It's like my favorite patch that I had at one point. I can't remember what happened to it. But they said that's the worst idea ever. Where do I sign up?
Yes. I actually, one of the friends that ran the Dallas sprint with me in the Pokemon onesie, the way I got him to do that was I said, I have a horrible idea who's in, and he said me. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much how this whole thing started, was a couple of us having really bad ideas and it breeding into a brilliant idea.
And see, if I remember, I did Dallas last year, and I think I remember seeing you guys because I was like, that's because there used to be a guy that they called Spartachu because he would run around and he did. His name's Alex. I've met him a bunch of times. He did a bunch of races as Pikachu for a long time.
Alex was actually the reason that I started dressing up in a Charmander onesie originally. In 2019 in December, they had a Spartan Beast in Southern California, and there was a woman who told me that she was not in shape, so she wouldn't be able to complete the beast. And I told her, I will run the whole beast with you and get you through it and make sure that there's no way you fail. I've looked at the course map. You'll be okay. I'll make sure you get through it. And she was convinced that she wasn't going to be able to complete it, but she said she would do it with me. And I said, okay, well, I have a surprise for you. So when you show up, you'll know who I am. Don't worry. And so when she showed up, I was dressed in a Charmander onesie, and I walked the entire beast with her, and she finished. I believe we finished with about 3 to 4 hours remaining at the end of the day, when she was concerned she wouldn't be able to complete it. After that, I've done a sprint, a super, and an ultra as well, wearing my Charmander onesie. And unfortunately, during my super, the onesie got so many stickers in it, it had to be retired. So I then went out and got the Charizard onesie, which is what you saw me in Dallas in.
Nice. Yeah, see, I haven't done any of that yet. I've thought about it because I'm doing a Ragnar in July, and a buddy of mine last year did it wearing a hot dog suit. And I've got great videos of him saying, ask me about my wiener. But but I spilled because I love pickle juice because it's my favorite thing for cramps. But I had a jug of it and I spilled a bunch of it in the car. So everything smelled like pickles for like the whole Ragnar race. So I'm gonna run, I think this year I'm gonna at least do one of my legs in a pickle suit.
That would be wonderful.
And I've been thinking about too, because I live in Texas now, is getting a Buc-ee's onesie and running in a Buc-ee onesie.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, running these races in the onesies is a lot of fun. And in fact, in at least one of the upcoming races, Teddy Bearcrawls, I will be wearing the Charizard onesie, and I will be trying to get my friends to wear their Pokemon onesies as well. Probably not going to happen in Utah because it's 90 degrees there during the race, but maybe Seattle or Arizona. Probably Arizona, since it's in November, and I have a number of friends in that area. So that would be a good location for us.
See, that's where I think Buc-ee's would be a good one to do it in Dallas, but I don't know if I'm not that adventurous to do
If you do it, I'll do it.
It's tempting. Yeah, 'cause I'm definitely gonna go to Dallas this year because I mean it's just 3 hours away, but you know, it's a short little drive.
Yes.
And plus when I did that,
it's a little bit further for me.
A little bit. But I've got 2 trifectas this year, and when I was in North Carolina, they didn't have the ×2 trifecta medals, so I was never able to get one. So I figure if I go to Dallas, I can at least get my ×2 trifecta medal.
Yes.
I'll have to get my ×3 because if I go to Dallas, I'm doing all 3 races. But
it'd be a waste to not.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a total waste not to.
In fact, in Dallas, Mark will not be able to do a Saturday Teddy Bearcrawl because he will be running the Ultra with me. And then we are doing the Teddy Bearcrawl Sunday morning, followed by the Super and the Sprint Sunday. So we will be getting a full workout in on.
What time are you doing the Teddy Bearcrawl on Sunday?
The Teddy Bearcrawls start at 7 a.m. Our first one in in Atlanta, was on Saturday, and we've decided to do them on Sunday because we can then use Saturday to kind of spread the word.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So Yeah.
So
So
is there
the
a
first
charge
one
for it?
there is no charge to participate. However, we do ask for people to donate if they can. So
Okay.
there's no official charge for it. We ask for a $50 donation. It's paid for on each event has its own GoFundMe currently. We're working on making a 501c3, but in the meantime, we're using GoFundMe because it just makes it so that people can put their money there. It goes into an account that is very clear, and all of the people can see how much money went into it. And then we have four of us who are starting to build this up as a all of us are volunteers, 100% volunteer basis. But all of us can see how much money went in, and in fact, all of our participants can see how much money is going in. So it's very open. And then we do publish how many teddy bears we were able to purchase. And so I believe I just saw the numbers for um, Cincinnati, and we reached $1,600, I think it was, and our goal was 1,000. And so we crushed our goal, and we were able to get over 300 teddy bears.
That's awesome. See, I'm gonna have to start spreading the word down here now with the groups that I run around with and say, hey, we got to go to Dallas and do this teddy bear run.
Yes. I have a friend who lives in Dallas, and I'm trying to get her. She's an engineer, and I'm trying to get her to get the engineers at her work because, first of all, I'm an engineer myself, and I know engineers don't typically do exercise stuff. So getting them out there to do the Teddy Bearcrawl would be a lot of fun
That
as an
would be.
engineer myself.
That would be. And I'll have to reach out because being from Seattle originally, a lot of the listeners of the show are Seattleites
Oh,
because
wonderful.
that's like I said, that's where I'm from originally. I grew up in Seattle, but I got tired of the dreary weather and went to Texas where it's nice and freaking hot. But
Yes. Would you
yeah,
rather have cloudy and rainy, or 130 degrees and humid?
I'm okay with 130 and humid. I thought I'd have problems with it, but so far I've been okay. But the only time I had a
Good.
problem is I did the Ironman in Galveston in April.
Oh,
And it was April. So, I mean, all the weather reports said it was going to be 70, cloudy, maybe a chance of rain. I was like, cool, this will be great. It was 85 and sunny the entire race.
oh, that's rough.
Yeah. So that was a little rough, but it's getting me ready for because I'm going back to Seattle in June and July, both for two different races. So hopefully it'll
Very
have me ready for the heat, which there is no heat in Washington. It's like, yeah, I don't know what I whined about for years because the heat here is so much different. But
yes.
But yeah, I
So
definitely I'll make sure and let everyone tell everyone, hey, you got to go do this teddy bear crawl in Seattle.
absolutely. And just so everyone is aware, we do ask for a $50 donation. If somebody can't afford to donate, that is perfectly fine. They are more than welcome to participate and earn their medal. If they can donate $5, we will take it. We will put two $5 donations together and get a couple of kids teddy bears. I believe our bears are currently about $7 a piece. So even $5, that's close to getting a bear. So
Yeah.
anything that people give gets us closer and closer to our goal. We have people that have donated $100 themselves. We have people that are going above the amount, and people that are giving that just can't do it. But the biggest thing is getting the word out there. If we can get more people out there, we can get more teddy bears. Whether or not that person can donate, just by them being there, it's going to help us spread the word. So it's not all about the money. It's really about spreading the cause.
Yeah. And then when you do get the teddy bears, how do you pick which hospital gets the teddy bears?
Uh, we look for specifically children's hospitals in an area, and in a few of these cases, we've just asked in the community, hey, who do you think deserves something like this? What's a good hospital in your area? In Atlanta, we had a connection through Dan McDonald had a friend who worked for one of the hospitals, and so they suggested that children's hospital. For Utah, we are going with Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City, and one of our fellow Spartans children, one of his daughters was in the hospital when she was first born for or maybe not firstborn, but when she was very young, for a very significant amount of time. And so since that was at Primary Children's Hospital, that was his recommendation when I reached out to our community. And by the community, I mean I reached out to my friends, and I knew that I had friends in that area. For Arizona, one of our Spartans, his son has a disorder, and I'm not positive what it is, but we've reached out to him, and he, of course, recommended the hospital that his son had been in during his childhood. And the way that we are actually going to have that particular teddy bear delivery done is he and his two sons are going to go do the delivery themselves. And so his son will be able to get back to the hospital that he had been going to during his childhood.
See, that's amazing.
Yes.
That is
For
awesome.
Utah, one of the unbreakable pass holders is going to be doing the delivery for us. And in Arizona, there was a family or not Arizona, in Atlanta, there was a family that was in the area that was willing to accept the shipment of the teddy bears and then deliver them to the hospital. So we do rely on people in the area helping us out. Whenever we can, we'll use friends that we already have. Otherwise, we make new friends, and just like with the rest of the Spartan community, there's someone in the area that's willing to help us. And so we've had a wonderful experience with this so far.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, for Seattle, if you need help with the teddy bears, BeastNet, we will definitely help. You know, Don, the producer, he still lives in Seattle, well, the Seattle area. And then Beast OCR is another very good organization up there that would definitely be able to help. So
wonderful.
Yeah. Those are two organizations in Seattle. I mean, BeastNet, like, you know, of course, I'm going to say BeastNet's great because I'm part of it, but Beast OCR is another great organization who has some great people, and they're a 501c. I think, yeah, 501c, whatever, but yeah, nonprofit. So yeah,
yes.
C3, there we go. But they, you know, I know Adam Bergenheim, I always say his name wrong. Adam up there with Beast would be, he'd be able to help, or Dawn with BeastNet. Either one of them would be able to help you
Wonderful.
with the stuff up there. So, but
thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're gonna be up in that neck of the woods, BeastNet will help you out. We'll get you. So
that would be wonderful. In Arizona, we have a group. I am blanking off the top of my head right now what the group is, but there's a group that has reached out to us to see if they can get the children that are part of their group to participate as well. And so in Arizona, we should have a very large turnout, especially with the younger community. And that particular group is big on pushing to get children involved in Spartan. Unfortunately, for some reason today, their group's name just doesn't come to mind. But of course, as soon as we're off the phone, I'll think of it.
Right. Well, if you think about it, send it to us, and we can tag them too in the episodes, that they can get some credit, I guess is the word. But yeah, but like I said, for Seattle Beast OCR or BeastNet, like I said, Don, he's the producer. He can help get you set up with everything you need up there. He's really good with that kind of stuff too. So
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, Don, I just nominated you for something else. Deal with it. But so me and Don have known each other. We met in preschool, so we've known each other for quite a while. So I'm always the guy that comes with ideas and that says, "Hey, Don, make this happen." So
yes.
so I mean, this is a great thing that you guys do with this. I mean, to give the kids teddy bears. I know how it is. I mean, I've dealt with, sick kids. My brother had his son was born at 26 weeks. So very, very premature. He's 26 or something now. So, I mean, I spent a lot of times with him in the hospital. And then I've had a lot of other friends that have had children in the hospital. So there's some good children's hospitals in Seattle. I'm sure Dawn has a good idea of which ones would be the ones to help. And like I said, so yeah.
Wonderful.
And he could probably help you.
We have not decided on the hospital for Seattle yet. So if you do have recommendations, or if Dawn has them, let us know. We chose the venues that we are going to hold the event at so that we could spread them throughout the country. And we immediately decided who was going to be the leads at them, but that was for the later ones, that was our primary focus, was just deciding where to do them, and making sure that we spread them out, not only by month, but also geographically, so that as many people as we can get have a chance to participate.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll mention something to Dawn too, to reach out to you about that, to help you find which one, because there's a couple good children's hospitals depending on the Seattle and Tacoma. Both of them have really good children's hospitals. Which one's better? I don't know, but it's one of those, just it don't know. And I mean, Tacoma and Seattle are so close to each other that I mean, either one would be good, and Dawn would be able to probably help you even talk to people there and help you, get a contact there and everything. So
wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, he's really good at that kind of stuff, and I'm good at just nominating him to do stuff, and then he'll yell at me later. So, um. I mean, like I said, this is a great cause. I love it. I know I originally heard about the Atlanta one because More Heart Than Scars, I do a lot with them. I race with them, and I'm part of that team. And a lot of them were involved with it in Atlanta, and they were going to do it. And I was like, because we've done a lot of racing with Dan too. More Heart Than Scars is really close to Dan McDonald, who is a great guy. I love Dan. So yeah, that was one that I really wish I could get to, but I couldn't get up to Atlanta. And you didn't have one in North Carolina, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we next year we are hoping to expand outside of our current offerings. But one of the biggest problems is there are currently 4 of us involved. It's Dan McDonald, Steve Bacon, Mark Haverland, and myself. Between the 4 of us, we have to be going to an event in order to have an event to host the bear crawl there. But in the future, if people are interested in having one at an event that one of us can't be at, we are interested in potentially growing beyond just the 4 of us. So we are not there yet, but if people are interested, we would at the very least be interested in having the conversations and having them help out on the organization side for an event that we are already doing, so that they can see what we're doing and decide whether or not they think would be something for them.
Wow. And I mean, it's one of those things too. I mean, it might be, if it's one that I'm going to and you need to, I might be willing to help you out with that.
Wonderful.
And do what needs to be done. I mean, I don't go to a lot really anymore. I mean, it's going to change once I get a little bit more settled here in Houston. But I mean, definitely the Houston race, I'll do that one. And there's some other ones that I'll do with More Heart Than Scars. But I mean, More Heart Than Scars is all about this too. So I'm sure they, if I was going to help you with it, I'm sure I could get, Joey and all them to help me help you. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because we're.
So one thing for me to mention is we are using Spartan's platform to promote our events, especially because they're held at the Spartan race, but we are not directly affiliated with Spartan. So if people do have questions, they do need to reach out to Dan, Steve, Mark, and myself, not to Spartan themselves. So if people do have questions, don't ask on Spartan's Facebook message or anything like that. But those of us that are doing the Teddy Bear Crawl, we would be more than happy to answer any questions. And if we don't know the answer, we'll develop an answer between us, because Dan is doing everything he can to push this forward, but he cannot put extra strain on the events. So that is part of the reason that we're doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning, is it's before the kids race, but we have to be off the course by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Which makes sense. So, and make sure at the end of this, give me, message or email Dawn or BeastNet the contact information. We'll make sure we put them into the notes of this so that everyone knows who to contact. So, and that way, if they are interested or or they have questions, they can reach out to you or Dan or Mark or Steve. So
yes,
right on. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we'll help out in any way, because this is a great cause. Like I said, I mean, I've had family members, their kids, stuff like that in the hospital, and seen how tough it can be for everybody. And it's amazing how something as simple as a teddy bear can change everything. One of my favorite pictures actually of my nephew, who was born at 26 weeks, is I gave him a Beanie Baby. while he was still in the incubator, and they actually used it to like put it in the incubator with him, so to like keep his legs and whatever. So I've got a picture of him with it, like, and he was the same size as the Beanie Baby because he was so
Wow.
small. But it was one of those things that, and I mean, as far as I know, he still has that. And
Yes.
he's like, in his late 20s. So I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. Sometimes people don't realize how much that teddy bear can mean to a child. And even not just the child, the family, just getting that teddy bear and just the way how much it means to them is just amazing. So I love this.
My friend whose daughter had been in the hospital during her childhood said that his daughter still has the teddy bear that was donated when she was in the hospital because she was given one during that time. And so that's one of those things that, I mean, to the children, even as they grow up, I know that it does stick with them. And I mean, of course, the trauma from being in the hospital sticks with them, but then the little things like as simple as getting a teddy bear that is just something to be yours when you're in this strange place, it means a lot to the kids.
It does. And I mean, they go through so much a lot of times as kids with getting poked and prodded and, not being able to sleep and everything else because they have to take medicine. And it's tough. And like we said, the teddy bear can just be that little bit of comfort that makes it that much better for them. So
yes,
yeah, I love this. Is there anything else you wanted to say to the listeners, or anything else you wanted to?
Yeah, I'll make sure that I get you our contact information, and I'll get the list of the events and so I'll get you the schedule and the donations page and the sign up page. And as I said, for the signups, you do not have to donate. We do have a link on the page to go from the sign up page to a donation page, but there is specifically in there a statement that it is not required to donate. So you do not have to donate money to earn your child's medal, because just you participating will help us greatly in spreading the word.
All right, you got it, and we'll help you spread the word and get it out there and see how many people we can get out there. Let's see if we can set a record in Seattle.
Oh, that is the last thing that I should mention is the East Coast, the Northeast has challenged the West Coast. So they have put out a challenge saying that they are going to have more participants at the Northeast event in New York than we are going to have in Utah. But after Utah, I have Seattle. So if we can beat them in Seattle, we can still get our bragging rights, even if we can't beat them in Utah. So
I'll do everything I can to push to Seattle and beat them. So
great.
All right. Well, it's been amazing talking to you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. And let's push this and get some teddy bears.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.